Captain of Industry released in early access on Steam over the summer. And if you follow my channel, you may have already seen the guides and the full let's play that we made on the game. It was really tons of fun. I showed you everything the game has to offer, from tips and tricks when you really start, to the current end of the game when you launch rocket into space. And in the middle, creating both a huge city and amazing industries. Because this game is both a city builder and an industry builder. So basically a bit of mix between Factorio and Anno 1800. And for an early access game, right from the start, it was definitely a gem. The gameplay was really smooth. It was already quite balanced and very few bugs. During all of my videos, there was 3 main comments from people on things that they could probably improve before releasing the full game. The first one was to introduce blueprints, similar to what Satisfactory just did, by the way. And don't hesitate to check on the channel if you want to know more about Satisfactory. We actually just started a new Let's Play on update 6 and 7. So first, those blueprints so that I can actually make blueprints and then share them with you. That's number 1. Number 2 was around the graphics. The graphics are not ugly, but they were quite basic, let's say. And I personally think that they were working quite well with the theme of the game because they felt quite realistic, but they were not AAA type graphic for sure. And then the last thing is that in the current version, we only had 4 different maps. So a lot of people were asking for a map editor. And while map editors were actually quite common in the past, these days they are not so common, right? When we just talk about Satisfactory, there's only one map, you can't edit it at all. Anno 1800, no map editor unless you use a mod. And many of those games like this really don't have map editor anymore. Well, today I have some amazing news from you all, because actually many of the things I just mentioned are part of the plans, are part of what's coming into Captain of Industry very soon, and more. So let's dive in. The first element that they shared is that the team is growing with a new software engineer. That really means they're putting even more resource into the game. And in particular, it seems that this new joiner, Jeremy, has a background in performance optimization, which will definitely be a great element toward the full release. Then they've started to work on the graphics. This is how the graphics have been looking so far, and now this is a prototype on how the graphics are going to look soon. You can see the textures of the trees are a lot better, the textures of the ground, even the sea, there's some waves, right, some foams. When you cut trees, they don't just disappear. They're also working on the base texture of the mountains, of the ground, especially when you start digging into it. Because remember, one of the really cool things of Captain of Industry is when you dig, you're actually digging, right? You're terraforming the whole map. And they're even working on all of the models for the vehicles and the factories. I know this image is not a very high quality, but you can definitely see the difference. This is the old model of the excavator. This is the new model. They've added tons of details everywhere. I won't bore you with all of the technical details, but I'll post in the video description below the link to the full devlog if you want to read the detail. In particular, how they're thinking of moving from temporal AA to MSAA, the multi-sample anti-aliasing technology. But the biggest news of all, in my opinion, is that they are actually working on a map editor so that you'll be able to create yourself your own map, create amazing new challenges, right? It could be very big map, very small maps, maps with very strange layouts and terrain. I really can't wait to see what the community will come with when this is out. I mean, even for Anno 1800, when the map editor mod released, then I was able to do this new series where we only have super small islands, and that was a blast. So I can't wait to see what the map editor will bring to Captain of Industry. And in my opinion, it's even more amazing in Captain of Industry because remember, it's not just about creating sort of a flat map. You need to create all of the layers. You need to decide what resources there is underground in your map and not just on the ground floor. They are also working on a number of more gameplay elements or quality of life elements. For example, we'll be able to replant trees. And they are also talking about new machines, so maybe new resources or maybe new recipes. And then maybe the only thing to be disappointed about is that this main big update I just discussed with the map editor with a lot of change in the graphic is not coming tomorrow. They're saying probably Q2 2023, which is not that far, but it's not tomorrow. The great thing though is that they do mention they will continue to provide patches and in particular one medium-sized update in the meantime. And in particular in this update coming quite soon, we know that we'll have a new tutorial mode. A lot of people at the beginning were complaining that the tutorial was a bit cryptic, a bit hidden. Now the tutorial is a lot clearer, right? Because you get this list of tasks. start by this, then do this, do that. And you don't have to do it, right? It's a tutorial. You can bypass it, you don't have to follow it, but if you want, if you feel like you want to learn the game in a controlled way, then that would be great. But also, of course, don't hesitate to check my Let's Play that will appear now on the screen if you want to learn the game with me. Really exciting news about Captain of Industry. I will definitely continue to follow this game, and don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you want to see a new Let's Play, maybe on a very difficult map or anything specific before this update. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.